So I know one of our best practices is around brand spend budget allocation. Can you speak to that? What exactly is it, and why is it so important for businesses to understand and take into consideration when they're evaluating and auditing for the year?
Sure. So brand spend is the spend you're actually spending on your brand name. So I know that sounds obvious in a sense, but it's really critical to actually go into the keywords view of Google Ads and type in your brand name and see what actually comes up in terms of total spend around those keywords. So for example, again, just to be extra clear, if I have a store and it's Sarah Throne Honda, I want to see exactly how much was spent, last month or this month so far on the Sarah Throne Honda keyword. So essentially what we like to do as a best practice is keep brand spend at 5% or less of your total paid search spend. The reason is that, first and foremost, you're naturally organically ranking for those keywords around your brand name more likely than not. So if you have a brand new website, brand new store, sure, makes sense to have, a little bit more aggressive brand spend. But most of the time what you're seeing looks like this, which is on the slide, is you Google your brand name, you have your regular listing to the left, and you have your local listing to the right. So if you want to click to the next slide, you can actually see an example of where, we're Googling a dealership's name and there's now an ad, and we're Googling a dealer near keyword, there's an ad, there's a regular listing, there's a map. So now all of a sudden we're buying that traffic instead of getting it for free. So Christina kind of spoke to this a little bit in terms of looking at the keywords you rank for organically to make sure whether it's your brand name or it's a dealer near X location where you already have a very strong regular presence and local presence with your organic listings, it might make sense to kind of pull back on that spend there. We also want to make sure that we're looking at brand spend or brand traffic impact in the Google Analytics level. So Lauren went through another example. This is just a second example here of when paid search traffic is actually cannibalizing organic. And you can kind of see this if the paid search channel is bringing in a lot more traffic than your organic. That's typically the first sign that you're bringing in a lot of brand traffic that could have been captured organically. So if you don't have access to your Google Ads account, but you're curious on if this could be happening to you, definitely go to Google Analytics first, go to channels and do a breakdown that way to see how things are comparing paid versus organic. The very last item around brand spend is really just having a solid understanding on how brand spend can impact performance data. So we get this a lot is, hey, my CPCs are too high, or my cost per conversion is too high, or my conversions are too low. And really that is all based around where you are spending your money. So if I am spending 20-30% of my budget on brand terms, I'll bet anyone any day that that's going to get the lowest CPC, the highest click-through rate, the highest amount of conversions, and the lowest cost per conversion, because again, it's your brand name. So that's always going to be your most cost-effective keyword. However, you have to take into consideration that comes at the cost of your organic traffic. So if you're comparing, agencies back to back, or you're looking at reporting month over month, you want to make sure that when you're looking at that, you're truly looking at where did that money get spent. Most of the time, it makes a lot more sense to compare campaign versus campaign data versus the total account. Because again, if you're looking to drive net new traffic and bring in someone searching for Honda dealer near me, or 2022 Honda Civic for sale, or used car dealer, where to trade my vehicle, etc., that's net new traffic that I would consider that, they're not looking for your specific brand at this point, but they're in the market, they're mid to lower funnel. So if that's the strategy, which is one I always support, chances are your CPCs are going to be a little bit higher. Your click-through rate might be a little bit lower. And of course, your cost per conversion is going to be higher than someone who's over investing in brand spend. So Want to make sure that, again, when we're reporting, looking at the campaign level, looking at where you spent, and then also looking at paid search traffic and conversions, along with organic traffic and conversions, and those including that Google Business Profile traffic, Google Business Profile calls, to really have an understanding of how those two channels are working together or against each other.